important to be environmentally conscious. That's why in the town council I've supported things like curbside compost pickup. I think that's an exciting program. But what I'm really concerned about is sustainability over things that we control. And that is the budget. And it is unsustainable and has been unsustainable over the majority party rule since they took over the town council. If you don't believe me, come to one of our finance and budget subcommittee meetings and you will hear that word used by members of both parties now. Since the majority party has taken over the town council, the budget has more than doubled. In the last 5 years, the average taxpayer is paying $2,000 more than they did 5 years ago. Not sustainable. Budget before last, car tax went up 28%, not sustainable. So yes, we should be concerned about the environment, but the same sustainability issues that we are concerned about as a public apply to our budget. And if we do not do anything about it, the fate is not positive. Thank you. So one of the unique things about West Hartford is it's a microcosm for America. Its racial breakdown mirrors the United States as a whole, pretty on point. And that's a wonderful thing. It's something that enriches our communities, schools, and populations. And preserving that has always been one of my goals. It's one of the reasons that I ran for office, because I was concerned that the majority party and its policies was hurting them. Was hurting West Hartford's ability to be a microcosm for America, because it's less and less affordable for more and more every single year. And that has an adverse impact on our most vulnerable. It's not just homeowners who pay taxes. It's also renters who pay taxes. On budget night this year, we had a budget hearing. We heard from tenants who were renting. And they said that their landlords were upset because once again, they had to increase rent because our budget went up again. And if we want to be a diverse and rich community, we got to get control over our budget. We have to be an affordable, welcoming community. It's true and good that our population is tolerant, but our town council has to be economically tolerant, which it is not. It lacks compassion for our residents with the way it has an unsustainable budget. Unless that changes, we risk losing what makes West Hartford special, which is the fact that it's a microcosm of America as a whole. Set up here, I would reach out to the Board of Ed and make sure the issue is addressed and followed up on. But you brought up difficult questions, and the most difficult question I think the town council faces is what to do about its budget. We are now at $300 million a year. Our mill rate is 41.8. It's in the top 10 in the whole state. The difference between us and our colleagues who are up in the 40s is we have higher property values, so the tax burden is outrageous. But the majority party has no answer. So they love this debate because there hasn't been one question about the budget. They have nothing. It's just more increases every single year. Next year, looking at $310 million. And at some point in time, the chickens are going to come home to roost. Either the state's going to have to cut budget funding. I see one of our representatives there. And what are we going to do there? Then, we're going to have to dramatically cut services all at once like we almost had to do 2 years ago. Because we were not prepared. Because our leaders did not have vision. Because they were not responsible. They were too concerned with getting titles in magazines. Best place to live. AAA rating. All the while, not addressing the underlying unsustainable issues. Yes, I have brought up looking at the fire department. Why? Because we used to provide medical services through a private service for $300,000 a year. Usually not even that much. It was a fixed cost. We have less fires. It's reasonable to look at reducing the size of the fire department because a smaller fire department can still respond to our fire demands. But the majority party will not do that. They'd rather increase your taxes year after year and make the town less and less affordable. And one day, kick the can down the road, so one day, someone like me has to deal with it. It's unsustainable, and we can spend our time talking about the diversity issue, which we all care about, but that's not the biggest issue for our town right now. If we don't fix it, there's going to be problems down the road. So thank you.
Question?
Folks, you just heard from Democrat members of the town council, nothing. Not a single idea. Zero. Updates. The fact of the matter is, I just heard from Mr. Davidoff that I was having a knee-jerk reaction by looking at getting rid of paramedic program. Well, folks, the town just used grant money to buy an ambulance because we're moving towards providing transport, further expansion of government. And guess what? Don't believe we're going in that direction? The town just spent $72,000 of your money to buy an ambulance bed. $72,000. You think we could use that money elsewhere? For an ambulance bed, for a transport program that we don't have. So talk about knee-jerk reactions. I'm not the one buying equipment. So folks, look, Alberto brought up some great points. Collective bargaining and us agreeing to things that we can't afford is another thing. There's just no political will in the majority party to fix the unsustainable budget. It's time for change if that's what you want. But if you want to have constant increases in mill rate, lower property values, and by the way, lower property values is happening. Look west of Mountain Road. Ronnie Newton's here, she reports home sales all the time. Check out the history. The bigger the house, the lower the value. And every year we increase taxes and the budget gets bigger, the shadow of loss of value increases over our town's geography and will continue to do so unless we do something. It's just math. It's just the market. So it's time for change, folks. Thank you.
I am Chris Williams, and I approve this message.